In my time, I've played a lot of bad video games. Games like Superman 64, Virtual Highlight, which I think is the worst game of all time. I actually made a list of the 10 worst video games of all time in my opinion. So I've been around the block. I've seen bad video games, I've seen great video games, and everything in between. And recently a game came out, not really recently, a couple months ago, a game came out called Troll and I for a variety of platforms, the PS4, the Xbox One, and PC. And it got some pretty bad reviews, anything from like a 1 to a 4. And people were saying, oh, the game's not good, blah, 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 blah. Well, I actually thought it looked kind of interesting, to say the very least. I liked the concept of the game. I liked what it, brought to the table. So I was still interested in it. And the Nintendo Switch version wasn't scheduled to come out until August. So I thought to myself, this is probably a good thing for the game. I'm sure they've done some big patches with the game to fix some of these issues that people have been talking about. So maybe the Switch version will actually be the good version. And it was only $30. So I spent $30 and bought Troll and I. And I've been hearing people say, this is the worst game. This is one of the worst games ever. But on the Nintendo Switch, you already have a bad game. That Vroom racing game that 8-Bit Eric reviewed.
Vroom in the Night Sky on the Nintendo Switch is perhaps the worst game I've had the pleasure of playing my entire life.
That thing was terrible looking. It looked bad. There was English all throughout the menus. Like, whoever translated it had never really spoke English before, because the game's tutorial was completely broken English. So Troll and I can't be that bad, right? It can't be worse than that. It's a $30 game. It's a physical game. I'm sure it's not that bad, right? Let's find out. So the premise of Troll and I is a pretty simple one. You play as a young boy named Otto, and in the first 15 minutes of the game, I kind of liked it. I actually posted on Twitter, I said, been playing it a little bit, don't hate it yet, Troll and I, hashtag Troll and I, and people were pretty surprised by that. But the first 15 minutes were actually pretty fun. It wasn't a great experience or anything. You're basically thrust into this open environment and you have to learn the crafting tools and the crafting system in the game. So crafting is a big way to, play the game. Basically, you have to do crafting in order to keep your character up to snuff. You craft different weapons and things like that. So it was interesting to see, using your environment to make better weapons, things like different clubs, different spears and whatnot. I liked it. You did a little bit of boar hunting as well and, got down with the game's mechanics. As I'm playing the game, I noticed it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look good. Like, it definitely looks sort of like a very early Xbox 360 title, maybe even an HD original Xbox title, but for a, glorified indie game, essentially, that this is what this is, for $30, I'm not expecting the world. The 3D engine looked decent enough. You could tell what was what. The lighting was a bit flickery in a lot of areas, but it looked okay, and I wasn't really going into this game with high expectations for the graphics. I just wanted it to play fun, and I thought that the whole mechanic with the troll would add to that. So after you play the game for about 15 minutes, you encounter the troll, and you two become good friends. And it really sort of opens up the gameplay, because now you have control of two different characters. Control troll. So you have control of two different characters and you could work together, and there's puzzle solving and whatnot, and I was into it. I wouldn't say it was a great experience. I wouldn't say it was a good experience. It was pretty average, but I was engaged for the most part. The story was progressing along a little bit. There were some interesting things where the troll is being tracked by a very rich man. Your mother was caught in a forest fire and now you don't know if she's escaped or whatnot. You sort of felt a bond between the troll and Otto, and I liked that. I liked where it was going. I thought it was pretty clever. So the big first puzzle in the game, you basically use an airplane wing so that Otto can go into different places. He can walk across the airplane wing if the gap is too big, and it was working okay. Like, I didn't hate it, and it was a little bit slow at times. There were some dips in the frame rate or whatever, but it was okay. And then I don't really know what happened. So, truth be told, when I first started playing the game and I put the cartridge in, the Switch didn't read the cartridge, and I was really confused by that. I had my system in portable mode, and I put it in dock mode, and then when I put it in dock mode, I put in the cartridge and it couldn't read it. So I thought maybe to myself, maybe something happened when I had it in portable mode, even though I had it in a case. But it took me literally 5 times to take the cartridge out and put it back in. Take the cartridge out and put it back in. And I thought that was really weird, but I don't know. I didn't think it was foreshadowing. But clearly it was foreshadowing, because I got to a point in the game, probably about an hour and a half in, where I started noticing really weird things. And you don't really notice it when the game first starts, because it seems like as you progress throughout the game more and more weird shit happens. So for instance, I'm playing as the troll, and all of a sudden I hear and I'm like, what the hell is that noise? So like I'm looking outside, I'm like, is that a car horn or something? And then I realize it's coming from the TV, and I'm like, all right. So I switch to the main character, Otto, and I hear and I'm like, what? So I noticed when I was moving, for some reason the sound effect was changed from, a standard walking sound effect to if you're the troll, or if you're Otto. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is completely out of left field. I've been playing the game for about an hour and a half before I encountered this. So I turned the game off, I turned the game on, and it still did it. And I couldn't figure out why. So I turned it off and turned it back on again, and then it stopped. So I was like, okay, whatever. It's a little buggy. There's patches nowadays. I will tweet the developer and let them know that there is a sound glitch that is really annoying and it really takes you out of the game. But no, it got worse. It got worse, and I didn't think it could get any worse. The game froze up on me twice, and it was literally like, frozen, like the screen froze, and I was like, ugh. All right, there's some freezing issues here, and I couldn't really figure out what was causing it. But the worst thing about it, the absolute worst thing is, I'm sitting there playing it, and there's these different little sort of formations where the goblins and little bad guys come out of, and you can use the troll to throw a rock and make this, portal close so that you can advance in peace. And I picked up a rock and I threw it at the portal, and then I got this screen. No. I am done. I am not 2 hours into this game, and I have experience where it doesn't want to read the cartridge, where I have to deal with these annoying sound effects for footsteps, like instead of, a normal sound effect. The game is froze on me. There's been horrendous dips in the frame rate or whatever, and this, I can't even play the game. I don't understand. And the thing that pisses me off is, I know that there's bad video games out there. I know, this game looks bad. This game's controls are bad. But at least you can play the game. And sometimes these bugs aren't found until much later on in the game. The fact that these bugs are prevalent 1 hour and 30 minutes into the game show me one thing. Nobody tested this piece of shit. They literally just sat there and were like, all right, so the PlayStation 4 version didn't do well, the Xbox One version didn't do well, and the PC version didn't do well. But we're delayed the Switch version until August. Should we take some time to polish up the game and maybe fix some of these bugs? Nah, fam, don't even play it. Just release it. Well, don't you want to make sure it runs well on the Switch? Nah, fam, nah, just release it. And literally, that's what they did. I was so pissed off when I got this screen of death. I was livid. Because in my mind, I'm like, it's almost like they're trying to break my Switch between the system not reading the cartridges and this. Is my Switch gonna brick now? Like, oh my God. And the thing that pisses me off the most, even more so than the game not functioning properly, is this. I understand the vision of the game. I think at its very core, strip away all of the nonsense, strip away all the glitches, strip away all the stupidity. It could have been a decent game. If they would have polished up the frame rate, if they would have made sure there was no huge game-breaking glitches that just thwart you in your progress, it would have been a decent game. Not a good game, not a great game, but a solid 4, a solid 5, something that, if I spent $30 on it, I wouldn't hate myself the next morning. But no, they couldn't take the time. They did not take the time to just go through and test the game to make sure things are working. And from what I've seen on Twitter, I have actually had a more positive experience than a lot of people with this. It's just disgusting. It is disgusting that this game was released to the public in the form that it is in. This was $30, okay? It's not a whole lot of money. I use a lot of my YouTube money to buy games to review for you guys because I feel that, you know, it's giving back to the channel. You guys watch me for my opinions, so the least I could do is put my money back into games like this. And I wanted to love this game. No, I wanted to like this game. I knew I wouldn't love this game from looking at other reviews, but I wanted to at least like it. But now, I'm at the point where I just want to shove this pine cone up my ass than rather play that again, because I feel like this wouldn't be as painful. Oh my god, it hurts so bad, I'm bleeding! But it's still better than Troll and I. And there you have it. There's Troll and I. Don't buy it. If you find it for $5 or less, okay. You know, maybe pick it up to complete your Nintendo Switch collection. Other than that, these people don't deserve any money. If you're not going to take the time to bug test your game in the most basic way possible that anyone would be able to find these bugs, then you don't deserve any money. So I don't even know who made this game. I know Maximum Games published this game. Maximum Games, you suck. You're on my shit list now, and I'll be watching you. If you bought Troll and I, I'm very sorry. Let's just talk about it here in the comments section. And if you just want to wallow in my misery or make fun of my misery, feel free, comment section. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT, NA5, RGT, NA5. RGT, NA5.